Just for 9211 coming at you with another video. I wanted to cover two different separate things. The first one is several complaints from people saying that their hands break or whatever, even with a few of my formats. In case you didn't know me, this channel is meant, actually creates decks. You do nothing, you just take the formats and you go destroy everything. And I mean it by everything. Like, it can range anywhere from undefeated YCS nationals, which is like there's nothing higher than that, and like number one as well. You could kill them like nothing, to like the regular regionals or just a regular YCS or even your locals. It doesn't matter. As long as the deck exists, you will be able to cap it like it's worthless, because that's what it is with the Dark Magician deck. So people have been complaining about some of the brick hands because they draw all monsters or all spells. And I've had a situation where a person drew all traps, and I really need to go over this. I know I'm going to get some backlash for it. I thought I had made a video, but I guess I never uploaded it. So when you shuffle your deck, like when you go to a YCS, you're supposed to go to like a professional shuffler, so you learn how to shuffle your deck. The other option, when you go online, you're not supposed to trust the AI. The AI shuffles it once for you, but when you shuffle your deck once, guess what happens? It's not considered a power shuffle, so you're gonna draw all monsters or all spells, or at some points, like some people have been saying, all traps. Like, I think this deck carries somewhere around 4 to 5 traps, and I've heard people say the first hand they draw all the traps in just one spell, and it's like hyper super bricked. And the answer is you're supposed to power shuffle your deck, because think about, like, for example, like Sky Striker deck or Eldritch. Some of them actually draw all spells, and some of the decks draw all traps. And sometimes among those all traps or all spells, they could be super hyper bricked, you know. So you need to you need to really power shuffle your deck so you get a good ratio. So the way you do it is on the bottom, it has buttons. You're supposed to at least, like, I'm giving you the bare minimum, shuffle it twice. You're supposed to shuffle it twice. And the ratio of the columns, like the first column, like I'm gonna click on it, like Soul Servant, and then this one's Circle, and then the Spellbook of Secrets. You're supposed to have at least Spell Trap Monster. On the second row, you do notice we have 3 monsters in consecutive. But to be honest with you, even if you were to draw those, it doesn't matter, because one of them's a normal and the other one's a discard, the other one's a special, so it doesn't matter at all. Like, it's a good hand to have. You're gonna be discarding, drawing, and then normal and special, and then with the Eternal. So look at the ratio of the lineup. Then when you go out and you play, the deck is the deck's AI, the computer, computer intelligence is gonna reshuffle it a third time. So don't think you could just leave with it organized, like all monsters, all spells, all traps, and nothing's gonna happen. Like, you're shooting yourself in the head for failure. Also, when you play at your locals, your YC, a lot of the reason why people are losing is because they've never even heard what power shuffle is. They don't even care about shuffling. I've met people that started Yu-Gi-Oh! And back when I used to go into the regionals and the YCS and the locals, honestly, there's people that fight against you when you tell them to shuffle. Like, they tell you there's no reason to shuffle. And guess what? They don't lose to their opponent. They lose to themselves. Like, you don't even need an opponent to beat them. They lose themselves. That's how bad people are. And that is the reason why a lot of people don't upload videos, because in reality, all they get their hands. I mean, look at Loz's channel. He's uploaded videos where he's tested decks, and his draw hands are like super hyper brick. You don't even need an opponent to lose. Like, you just lose by drawing. And when that happens, it's it's considered suicide. And even in the real world, consider suicide when you suicide yourself, when you kill yourself, it's not widely recognized as a good thing or as a success. If you commit suicide, you're not known as a successful person. In fact, it's very far from it. Um, you're like really, really low barrel, bottom of the barrel loser, and people are gonna argue like, why would you say that about someone who commits uh, suicide? Well, why don't you compare them? Imagine if you had a girlfriend that did that, or um, a president, or a family member, and you notice like, oh no, I don't want that to happen. Like, it's the most evil thing you've ever said. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Some things you're trying to stay away from, they're the worst thing that can happen to you. And then other things you want them to, like you want a successful girlfriend, a successful family, a successful president, you see. So I proved my point because your emotions together with your reason, they both agreed that there's one spectrum that's horrible and then there's another one that's excellent. So it's the same way for the deck. You don't want to commit suicide. What you want is have a successful deck. So now that I've proven that point and your mind understands how serious it is, this is why this video is very hyper important. Can't stress enough. You guys shuffle your deck at least twice, and then when you get out the deck, the AI system will shuffle it again, guaranteed. Your brick hands will minimize. In my understanding, in my opinion, from my experience, at least one brick hand every close to 20 duels or 15 is perfect. And especially if out of 3 brick hands you're able to win with one. If you're able to win with all the brick hands, like me, like I have some videos where I show you super hyper brick hands and I win all my duels, then even better to you. That's definitely means you're a Dark Magician master or a Yu-Gi-Oh master, because one card's used to unbrick, and then it chains, and then they draw. So yeah, there's a technique. So please, you guys take that to heart. Be serious. The second part that I wanted to talk about was collabs. There's a lot of people coming to my channel to collab. They want to collaborate with me. Now, I don't want to sound negative or evil or like a monster, but a lot of people are under the impression that I need help, or that I'm figuring things out. No. Double graveyard dead wrong. I figured everything out 3 years ago, May 2019. I'm not trying to figure out nothing. I'm not trying to figure out the Dark Magician. I'm not trying to figure out the ban list. I'm not trying to figure out nothing. Like it's like if somebody tells you like, are you robbing a bank? You're like, no, far from it. I got money. It's like, that's me. It's like, I'm not trying to figure nothing out. I'm far from that. I'm destroying all the YCS formats. You're trying to figure everything out. Every YouTube channel that exists is trying to figure out what to do. They're trying to figure out the new ban list. They're trying to figure out the Dark Magician. I'm not that. This is not that channel. If you came to this channel thinking we're trying to figure things out, you're wrong. You need to either leave or get with the program. We don't figure nothing out. We're already killing all the decks. As long as that exists, we don't care if it's a national, a regional, a locals. As long as it exists and no one can defeat it in the world, we're gonna destroy it easily. So this channel is not figuring nothing out. Like, I can't stress that enough. We're not doing figuring out. We're at least 3 to 4 years ahead of everybody else. Even in the ban list, we're like a year and a half in front of everyone. And to be honest with you, I already have decks, Dark Magician, they're already successful. I've been dealing with the people have now cut on. They don't have Dragoon anymore. Like, this format's gonna be changing like 3 to 4 months from now, and more likely the Dragoon's been banned. I already figured it out, and it's super broken. And I'm the person that figured out everything in 2019 with the Spellbook engine and all that. And just in case you didn't know, some of the Spellbook engine cards are gonna come back. I've been gifted with the freak accident of prophesying at least 2 years in the future of anything that happens in Yu-Gi-Oh! Every other channel is trying to figure out, scratching their head. We figure everything out years before it happens. That's why when things happen, we're not affected. None of my Dark Magicians are affected by the ban list or any of the profiles. And the reason why is because we think about years ahead. So if you like content where we figure nothing out, we just destroy all the decks, this is the channel. If you like a channel where nobody cries, we just get the job done. All the feared decks and undefeated are considered trash in this channel. If you want to be ahead of all the existing Dark Magician decks that exist by years, this is your channel. So hopefully all that was useful. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. Dark Magic Attack.